scientists have discovered the true ferocity of a huge volcanic eruption off the coast of Tonga.
Volcanoes, both on Earth and beyond, are universally acknowledged as harbingers of destruction, with their fiery eruptions capable of obliterating all in their path. However, the triple power of underwater volcanoes remains shrouded in relative obscurity, despite their colossal force. The largest underwater volcano has suddenly cracked open the Earth. This recent fissure in the world's largest underwater volcano brings forth a cascade of questions. What could be the extent of the havoc brought by such an event? How would the world change in its aftermath? Join us as we explore depths of this aquatic enigma to uncover the impacts of the formidable, recently cracked underwater volcano. The recent sudden fracture of the Hunga Tonga volcano, the world's largest volcano, has caused widespread unease and concern. Though the volcano has always been recognized as a potential hazard, the reality of its risk of erupting seemed distant until now. A few months ago, no one would have thought that we would be on the brink of potential catastrophe. However, recent events have escalated the volcano's chance of exploding by a staggering 360%, a risk that is incredibly daunting and challenging for the world to manage. A potential eruption of the Hunga Tonga volcano would not only lead to swift and catastrophic changes in the ecosystem, but would also trigger various other calamities. Shockwaves, lightning strikes, and mass dislocation of people are just a few of the devastating effects that could be expected. Famine, hunger, tsunamis, and the burial of large areas of land under volcanic ash also loom as serious threats. The world is still struggling with the aftereffects of its last eruption in 2022, a doomsday scenario that left both Earth and space struggling to recover. For some, this is also a sign of the end of times. The kind of destruction that has occurred and is predicted to occur has ignited the spread of faith and prayer around the world. With the Earth cracking beneath our feet by the underwater volcano explosion, this is quite an expected response. For those less familiar with the Hunga Tonga, it is a cone-shaped submarine volcano situated in the southern Pacific Ocean, near the 1721 islands of the Kingdom of Tonga. The kingdom lies south of Samoa, southeast of Fiji, and northeast of New Zealand. At about 500 feet below sea level, the volcano packs a force equivalent to 100 Hiroshima bombs. During its peak eruption, it propelled millions of tons of water vapor high into the atmosphere. Geographically, the Hunga Tonga volcano is part of the larger submarine edifice that includes the small islands of Hunga Tonga and Hunga, as well as shallow reefs along the caldera rim. It is one of 12 volcanoes along the Tofua Arc, part of the Tonga-Kermadec volcanic arc. This volcanic arc is the result of the Pacific Plate being subducted beneath the Indo-Australian Plate. The capital city of Tonga, Nuku'alofa, is located 65 kilometers south of Tongatapu, with New Zealand 2,000 kilometers to the south and Australia nearly 3,000 kilometers to the southwest. Despite its terrifying potential, it is crucial to consider the homeland of this formidable volcano and the current situation on the island that houses it. The Kingdom of Tonga has been severely affected by volcanic eruptions, small eruptions, erosions, and even fires from electrical surges. Since the major eruption in January 2022, the kingdom has been left in ruins, a shadow of its former self. Only a small portion of the island remains visible above the ocean's surface, the rest seemingly swallowed by the sea. Nuku'alofa, the capital and largest city in Tonga, has been blanketed by layers of volcanic ash and residue. Once a bustling center of commerce and industry, it now lies in ruins, with buildings split apart and streets filled with debris. Tsunamis and lightning strikes have caused further devastation, eroding the ecosystem and leaving little chance for survival. Over 80% of residents have been displaced from their homes, a stark reminder of the volcano's destructive power. The once peaceful island of Tonga has also faced its own challenges in the wake of the volcano's activity. The damage to the ecosystem and environment is profound, with coral reefs decimated, threatening marine life and eliminating the possibility of crop growth. The ash, mixed with ocean water, and the potential for acidic rainfalls indicate that the Tonga island will be uninhabitable for years to come. The question on everyone's mind is whether the volcanic eruption was expected or if it was suddenly triggered. The signs of an impending eruption seem to have been either ignored or overlooked. While an eruption was anticipated, the timing and intensity have taken the world by surprise. Located 40.3 miles from the island of Tonga, the volcano has been a constant environmental hazard, straining the ozone layer and leaving destruction in its wake. The aftermath of this and any volcanic eruption is tragically destructive, leaving a long and challenging road to recovery for the Kingdom of Tonga and the world. The Tonga volcano eruption presented a unique and awe-inspiring spectacle, distinguishing itself significantly from its above-surface counterparts. This phenomenon falls under the category of a submarine volcano, meaning it takes place beneath the ocean's surface. Submarine volcanoes are essentially vents or fissures on the Earth's crust that release magma. They predominantly reside near regions of tectonic plate formation, often referred to as mid-ocean ridges. These underwater behemoths represent the most active volcanoes on our planet, contributing to approximately 75% of the Earth's total magma output. While the majority of submarine volcanoes are located in the deep ocean, a select few are situated in shallower waters. These can sometimes result in explosive eruptions that propel volcanic material into the atmosphere. It is estimated that there are well over 1 million underwater volcanoes on Earth, though most are considered extinct or dormant. A notable number of them, around 75,000, rise at least 1 kilometer from the seabed. The last 11,700 years have seen only 119 recorded eruptions from these underwater giants. However, the Tonga eruption in 2022 marked a significant moment in history. This event became one of the few submarine eruptions to be meticulously documented through both written and visual means. The eruption's shockwave was the largest ever recorded, and the plume height set a new record. The power of the blast even surpassed the infamous Krakatoa volcanic explosion of 1883. The impact was so profound that it was equated to being stronger than the Hiroshima nuclear explosion. Sounds from the eruption were heard as far as Alaska, located about 10,000 kilometers, 6,000 towers away. The ash, smoke, and other particles from the eruption ascended to heights of 58 kilometers, 36 mil, with winds at the edge of space reaching hurricane speeds. The plume's peak height neared 20 kilometers, carrying an estimated 50 kilotons of sulfur dioxide. This caused the smell of sulfur to pervade through Tonga, Ha'apai, and Eua. Ashfall was reported on Fonoi, Mango, and other islands. The massive plume resulted in the cancellation of all domestic flights on the 15th, and at its zenith, over 191,000 lightning events were recorded within a 24-hour period, peaking at 30,000 per hour. The eruption's impact on the Tonga Islands was devastating, demolishing buildings and infrastructure, and displacing thousands from their homes. In the wake of the 2022 eruption, NASA swiftly initiated research to observe changes in the atmosphere's water content and the presence of sulfur dioxide. The volcano's activity inevitably influences surface temperatures, releasing gas, steam, ash, and dust during episodes of turbulence. With each eruption, the outcomes appear to grow more calamitous, heightening concerns over potential future disasters. During its recent outburst, the volcano generated tsunami and shock waves that reached up to 15 millimeters, striking the west coast of Tonga, Eua, and Ha'apai with brute force. This phenomenal event also produced an astonishing 191,000 lightning flashes recorded over a single day, showcasing the sheer power and influence of submarine volcanic activity. Reaching a staggering 30,000 per hour, several lesser-known volcanic eruptions have occurred beneath the ocean's surface. These underwater phenomena often slip under the radar, with their minor blowouts belying their significant impacts. Tonga, a region familiar with seismic unrest, has witnessed numerous volcanic eruptions throughout the last century, with many of them originating from the oceanic crust beneath the islands. The crust here is subjected to constant thrusting and squeezing, a characteristic feature of this geologically active region. These volcanic activities are situated along fractures and faults, created by the constant shifting of the crustal plates surrounding the island chain. Such movements dictate the frequency and intensity of volcanic eruptions in this area. The volcanoes and seamounts in question are positioned along a submarine ridge to the west of the Tonga Trench, creating a unique and volatile environment. The aftermath of these massive underwater eruptions is far from inconsequential, leaving the residents of Tonga to cope with the devastation. The fallout includes the displacement of dust and ash, a somber reminder of what once was. Reports indicate that approximately 84% of Tonga's population felt the effects of ash fall and tsunami waves in the immediate aftermath of an eruption, resulting in a tragic loss of life and displacement. The eruption of Tonga's underwater volcano, Hunga Tonga Ha'apai, stands as a reminder of nature's unpredictable and devastating force. For a long time, the volcano lay dormant, leading many to believe that an eruption of such magnitude was impossible. However, when it did erupt, it unleashed a power comparable to the most violent volcanic eruptions in recent history, including the 1991 eruption of Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines. Hunga Tonga Ha'apai is distinct from other volcanoes in its dramatic activities, consistent eruption scares, and persistent steaming. Its underwater location sets it apart, creating a unique set of challenges for detection and study. Unlike volcanoes found on land, Hunga Tonga Ha'apai is enveloped in deep waters, making it difficult to monitor. Consequently, many of its eruptions and seismic activities are misinterpreted as underwater waves or currents, further contributing to its enigmatic nature. Despite their often inconspicuous nature, the volcanic eruptions beneath the waters of Tonga are a force to be reckoned with, shaping the landscape and impacting the lives of those in the region. The dynamic movements of the crustal plates and the unique positioning of the volcanoes along the submarine ridge make this area a hotspot for volcanic activity, a reality that the residents of Tonga know all too well. The Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai volcano stands out among its peers not just because of its submerged caldera, located roughly 500 feet, 150 meters beneath the sea's surface, but also due to its remarkable volcanic explosivity index. This index surpasses that of many other known volcanoes, even those responsible for catastrophic impacts in the past. During an insightful interview, Alexa Van Eaton, the lead author of an extensive study on this volcano, shared her astonishment at the sheer power of Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai. She highlighted that the volcano's latest eruption shattered previous theoretical limits regarding plume height and eruption rates, setting unprecedented records. Historically, there have been monumental volcanic eruptions, such as the infamous Krakatoa explosion in 1883, which resulted in the tragic loss of over 36,000 lives. Additionally, the volcanic winter of 536 AD, lasting 18 months, and the Laki eruption in 1783 have been etched into history due to their profound global impacts. However, the Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai volcano introduces a new level of potential devastation as it currently sits quietly under the ocean's surface, its power eclipsing those historical events. For many scientists and researchers, the presence of this underwater volcano is similar to a shadow from the past, lurking and ready to unleash untold havoc if not carefully monitored and prepared for. What makes Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai particularly unique and alarming is its capacity to affect not just its immediate vicinity, but the entire global system, both underwater and above the water's surface. In stark contrast to most volcanoes, which tend to have a cooling effect on the planet following an eruption due to the release of sulfur dioxide, Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai behaves differently. It has the potential to contribute to global warming for decades. The eruption in January 2022 serves as a pertinent example. The volcano caused temporary warming over the Pacific region, pushing temperatures up by more than 1.5°, a significant and concerning increase. The volcano's ability to influence global climate systems in such a way underscores the urgent need for continuous monitoring and research. Scientists and researchers must remain vigilant, seeking to better understand this underwater giant and its potential impacts on our planet. The unpredictability and power of Hunga Tonga. Hunga Ha'apai make it a subject of intense study, as the world seeks to uncover the secrets of this underwater enigma and mitigate any potential threats it may pose. The Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai volcano's eruption is a profound demonstration of nature's power, with an estimated 146 metric megatons of water propelled into the stratosphere, soaring several meters past the Earth's surface. This immense volume of water, once released, undergoes a transformation into vapor. Trapped in the atmosphere, it assumes the role of a greenhouse gas, with profound implications for our planet. The climate alteration following the eruption is dramatic and immediate. The Earth's ecosystems, its vegetation and marine life, find themselves suspended in a state similar to a deep freeze. This chilling effect is primarily attributed to the eruption's discharge of sulfur fumes directly into the atmosphere. These plumes carry with them tiny particle residues, which act as a barrier, blocking sunlight and causing temperatures to drop below their average range. This drop in temperature is not a fleeting phenomenon. It has the potential to persist for years or even decades. The Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai volcano has rightfully earned its status as a global concern. The scars from past eruptions are still visible, serving as a stark reminder of the volcano's potency. Unlike eruptions from previous decades, the effects of which we have managed to recover from to a certain extent, the predicted repercussions of future eruptions from this volcano may well be irreversible. Reflecting on the aftermath of previous eruptions provides insight into the current state of the ecosystem and the pace at which recovery is taking place. The 2022 eruption, while the most powerful recorded to date, is not an isolated event. The volcano has a history of eruptions dating back to 1912, with subsequent eruptions in 1937, 1988, and a series of both small and large explosions throughout the 21st century. These events have left an indelible mark on the landscape, reshaping the Pacific seafloor and transforming lush, vegetative environments into barren lands. In 2015, the power of the Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai eruption was so great that it gave rise to a new island, bridging the gap between two existing islands. However, this newfound land was short-lived. It vanished, taking with it a significant portion of the two pre-existing islands. The landscape of Hunga Ha'apai, once vibrant and teeming with life, now stands as a proof of the volcano's destructive capabilities. Scientists have issued warnings regarding the release of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide gases. These gases have the potential to induce acidic rain and increase the spread of plumes in regions as far away as Fiji. The implications for marine life are grave, with thousands of sea animals at risk of being buried under vast deposits of volcanic ash or finding their habitats contaminated. The long-term sustainability of vegetation and land fertility surrounding the affected ecosystems is uncertain, raising questions about the viability of these habitats in the future. In sum, the Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai volcano is a force to be reckoned with, its eruptions reshaping landscapes, altering climates, and posing a significant threat to both terrestrial and marine life. The recovery process is slow, and the lasting impact of its eruptions serves as a poignant reminder of the volcano's power and the global importance of monitoring and preparing for such events. The lush vegetation typically found in volcanic areas faces severe challenges, especially after the 2022 eruption of the Hunga Tonga Ha'apai volcano. The eruption reactivated multiple pyroclastic flows, causing widespread devastation as they burned and bulldozed their way across the landscape. Volcanic regions are inherently unstable, prone to a variety of geological and hydrological disturbances, including erosion, earthquakes, and tsunamis. These phenomena, regardless of their magnitude, contribute significantly to land degradation, thereby enhancing vulnerability in these regions. The resultant effect of this land deterioration is the profound impact on food security. The eruption not only decimated vegetation, but also disrupted marine ecosystems, causing a significant decline in both staple crop yields and fish populations. This has dire implications for the financial stability and food security of the local populace. For an island nation like Tonga, the situation is especially precarious. The local economy is heavily reliant on marine resources, which serve as a vital source of food, employment, and trade. Financially, the aftermath of the eruption has been catastrophic, with commercial activities grinding to a halt and resulting in losses exceeding 17 million USD. Prior to the pandemic, Tonga's economy was significantly bolstered by tourism, generating over $25 million annually, in addition to $11 million from the sale of coastal seagrasses and mangrove products. Although the kingdom was on a path to recovery following the pandemic, the volcanic eruption dealt another devastating blow, wreaking havoc on the Tonga Islands. The eruption obliterated buildings, forced mass evacuations, and resulted in the release of massive gas plumes into the stratosphere. The ocean, too, experienced unprecedented turbulence, affecting areas located several miles away from the eruption site. One notable incident was the oil spill at the Pampilla refinery in Peru, a facility owned by the Spanish company Repsol. A strong gust of wind disrupted the offloading of an oil tanker, resulting in the spillage of several barrels of oil into the ocean, creating a hazardous situation that drew global attention. In addition to the environmental disaster, the contamination of main water supplies has led to an increase in water-borne diseases and respiratory illnesses, further complicating the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite these challenges, aid and support from international organizations, surrounding states, and private individuals have been instrumental in the recovery efforts. Various restoration plans and projects are underway to ensure that the standard of living in Tonga improves and that the harsh living conditions become a relic of the past. However, the future remains uncertain. While there is a glimmer of hope and positive sentiments, questions linger about the long-term effects of the volcano's eruptions and the potential for future catastrophic events. Only time will tell what lies in store for Tonga and the wider global community. In the interim, it is imperative to maintain vigilant observation, preparation, and mitigation efforts to safeguard lives and property against potential future eruptions. Thanks for exploring with us on Beyond Discovery. If you enjoyed this exploration, click now on the next video that pops up on your screen. It's unbelievable.